quitting was never a realistic option from the time I was young, because that's the way I was raised. And now, like when I was in buds even, everyone says that they had the thought of quitting at least at one time. Like that was never a realistic option for me. It was either I was gonna break or I wasn't gonna make it. I give the credit to like my parents for raising me like no quit, and that's something I want to instill in our son whenever he gets here. You start something, you gotta finish it. When it comes down to it, it's actually one of the reasons why I like Alaska is it forces you to rely on your senses a lot more, and forces you to get your head out of your phone, forces you to get your head out of your own thoughts and focus on the now and the present. It doesn't matter if I'm hunting, fishing, or just hiking. No matter where you're at up here, you need situational awareness, because there's a lot of things that want to eat you as well. And you're not the apex predator out here.
Me and Jeff, actually, it's really funny. We're very yin and yang. That's a really good way to describe us.
She was the one who like knew I wasn't really happy with the route I was going, because I was trying to pursue like the 9-to-5 thing, because that's what I thought was there, and she could sense it as like something's off with me. And she's like, what is it that you really want to do? And I was like, I want to go mush dogs. And she's like, well, we got to come up with a plan.
Once that ball started rolling, we kind of just dove in head first.
We kind of embraced the whole homestead lifestyle out here. We got not just the dogs, we're raising chickens for meat. And we also hunt and fish for a lot of our meat as well. It
hasn't been easy, but it also kind of feels natural. There's no like keeping up with the Joneses here, it feels authentic and real.
With the dogs especially, there's so many aspects from platoon life to like dog kennel life, because essentially those dogs are just a bunch of pipe hitting dudes that are in a platoon. So that is my platoon. Working out with the dogs, I will sometimes go out there and eat with the dogs. When we go out and camp, I'll sleep with the dogs. I bring dogs in here to hang out. It's the same thing as like I bring all that in with the platoon. Like in a platoon of SEALs, you're working out all the time. You're eating all the, like you spend all the time with a group of guys, and you really get to know them to the point to where it's like it could be midnight on top of a mountain and you see a silhouette of a guy and you know exactly who that is. I'm at that point with the dogs where if a dog barks in a yard, I know exactly who's barking out there. Or if I see nighttime a silhouette of a dog, I can tell, oh, that's Brock. It's not just me. Like, and that's the big thing I think with the SEAL platoon. It's not just you. You have I have a whole team of dogs I gotta worry about. So if I freak out and panic, I'm not doing anybody any good. And these guys are relying on me to get them home, and I'm relying on them to get me home. So like, we're one unit, and if I freak out, I may be the coach of that unit, and if I'm freaking out, they're gonna freak out, and they're gonna lose a little bit of respect for me too. Killing your food does a lot of different things, for me at least. It helps me, one, not want to overeat, and two, it helps me not want to waste any of the food, because now you have an emotional relationship with your food. There's nothing macho about killing an animal. Any idiot can go to a store, buy a gun, and walk through the woods and kill whatever they see. Anyone can do that. But to actually like go out there and do that for the purpose of sustaining yourself, man, it makes you feel good. It's like a spiritual thing almost. But then after deployments and realizing exchanging of death and seeing a bunch of that, it helped me realize the innocence of the animal and respect that, and it helped me transition to more of like a spiritual hunter that is out gathering meat and nutrition for my family, and not a trophy for the wall. Whenever it comes time for me to pull the trigger on that animal, I want to make sure everything is perfect. And when I pull that trigger, when I squeeze that trigger, I need to know exactly where that bullet's going, and I have to be completely confident that I'm going to put the round where it needs to go to put that animal down as quick as possible. You owe that, and it goes back to just respecting the land, respecting the animal. And you can't do that if you don't respect yourself. Yeah, so we read the grid for the Arctic North River. So to see what's next, we're gonna have to I'd like to get at least 100 miles out there, and that will put us in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. There's a possibility, I'm not sure if this is gonna link together right here. Mm-hmm. It's all dependent. And two, if we get a bunch of snow, I may only be able to do 20 miles a day. Preparation makes everything easier to deal with. If you're prepared for the worst case scenarios, those worst case scenarios are gonna be manageable.
getting things ready for races and making sure Jeff's gear is all prepped and ready to go. You have to take it seriously. You have to invest your time and energy. It can be a life or death situation out there.
Gear is your lifeline, and without proper gear and equipment, you will get hurt or your dogs will get hurt. Gear is definitely important. When I got out of the military, I lived in New York, and I was flirting with that soft line. I just didn't have my purpose there. And coming up here, and with all the dogs now, like I'm forced, even if I don't wake up and I don't want to go out there, the dogs are relying on me to take them out there and relying on me to keep them safe. So the way I can do that best is keeping my body and mind sharp. I don't know why I like being in situations that are difficult, because it helps me grow, whether it's mentally tougher and physically tougher, and it just helps callous that mind up and helps keep you from getting in the ruts of mediocrity and the ruts of just living an easy life. It makes things like sink in, like when a buddy of yours gets killed, whether it be in training or in war, it hits home. And it makes you want to like work harder, train harder, be more proficient, not just for you, but for the guys you're with, and then also those that are relying on you to come home, your family. Everyone has a time, their clock is ticking, and that's also something that I always think about. Like, tomorrow's not guaranteed for anybody. That's why, like, you got to make the most of the time you do have, and like not going after dreams or leaving things unfulfilled or not trying new experiences or meeting new people. It's kind of you're not really living to the full potential of what life could be. I think if you ever say that you are where you want to be, you're wrong. I never want to plateau. I always want to keep on bettering myself. Keep myself sharper. I'm always striving to keep myself sharper physically, keep myself sharper mentally. If everything's easy and soft, you're going to become a soft person. And when you start putting yourself into the difficult situations, that's when you're really going to grow. One thing I want to instill in my son is the one to never quit. That's a very important thing, because that's helped me so much in life. And then two, to be a dreamer. The world is literally a blank slate. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Doesn't matter what job you want to chase. Don't worry about the dollar bills. Don't worry about anything. Do what you want to do, and then adjust your lifestyle to that. That's what I want to instill in my kid.